Assalamualaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. US President Donald Trump has urged Iran to get smart soon and sign a deal, following days of deadlock in efforts to end the conflict and a media report that the US would extend its blockade of Iran's ports. In a post on Truth Social, Trump said Iran couldn't get its act together. He said they don't know how to sign a non-nuclear deal without explaining what such a deal would entail. Iran wants some kind of US acknowledgement of its right to enrich uranium for what it says are peaceful civilian purposes. US President Donald Trump has instructed aides to prepare for an extended blockade of Iran as stalled talks leave the future of the Strait of Hormuz uncertain. According to US officials cited by the Wall Street Journal, in recent meetings, including a Monday discussion in the Situation Room with top security officials, Trump chose to continue preventing shipping to and from Iranian ports. Officials said the president assessed that maintaining the blockade carried less risk than his other options, resuming bombing or walking away from the conflict altogether. The blockade is being used as a high-risk attempt to force Tehran into nuclear concessions it has long resisted. US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has defended the Iran conflict in fiery remarks to Congress, dismissing claims it's a quagmire. He criticized Democratic lawmakers for their opposition, calling them feckless and reckless. Hegseth's strong stance comes amid growing tensions and political criticism over the ongoing conflict. The Pentagon says the US war in Iran has cost around $25 billion so far, marking the first official estimate of the conflict's price tag. A senior defense official told lawmakers that most of the spending went toward munitions. The United States began strikes on Iran in late February, with a fragile ceasefire now holding. In a 90-minute phone call, Russian President Vladimir Putin and US President Donald Trump have discussed potential solutions to Iran's nuclear dispute. This was their first public conversation since March 9th, shortly after the US and Israel launched a war against Iran. Kremlin aide Yuri Ushakov did not reveal details of Putin's proposals, although Moscow has previously suggested removing enriched uranium from Iran. Putin also proposed a ceasefire in Ukraine to coincide with Victory Day on May 9th. Moscow's initiative, supported by Trump, aims to pause hostilities during the World War II commemoration. Trump's approval rating have sank to the lowest level of his current term, as Americans increasingly sour on his handling of the cost of living and an unpopular war with Iran. A new Reuters Ipsos poll, completed on Monday, showed 34% of Americans approve of Trump's performance in the White House, down from 36% in a prior Reuters/Ipsos survey, which was conducted from April 15th to 20th. Trump's popularity has taken a beating since the US and Israel launched a war against Iran on February 28 that has led to a surge in gasoline prices. Only 22% of poll respondents approved of Trump's performance on the cost of living, down from 25% in the prior poll. US intelligence agencies are studying how Iran would respond if President Donald Trump were to declare a unilateral victory in the two-month-old war. Two US officials and a person familiar with the matter said the goal is to understand the implications of Trump potentially pulling back from a conflict that some officials and advisors worry could contribute to deep Republican losses at the midterm elections later this year. White House spokeswoman Anna Kelly said the US is still engaging with the Iranians on negotiations and would not be rushed into making a bad deal. Britain's King Charles has told the US Congress that the United Kingdom and the United States must remain staunch allies in a more uncertain and dangerous world, even as deep divisions over the war with Iran have strained relations between the two longtime partners. Speaking during a rare joint meeting of the Senate and House of Representatives, Charles called for unity in defending democracy, supporting Ukraine, strengthening NATO, and resisting isolationism. He told US lawmakers that, whatever differences and disagreements they may have, they stand united in their commitment to uphold democracy and protect their people from harm. The speech was repeatedly interrupted by applause, with around 12 standing ovations during the address. US President Donald Trump has said that Britain's King Charles III shared his view that Iran should not be allowed to acquire a nuclear weapon, raising the sensitive issue of the Middle East conflict during a White House state dinner for the visiting monarch. Speaking at the dinner honoring King Charles and Queen Camilla, Trump said his administration was engaged in a little Middle East work and claimed the situation was going well. He said they had militarily defeated that particular opponent and were never going to let that opponent ever have a nuclear weapon. In his own remarks after Trump, King Charles did not mention Iran, the Iran war, or Trump's claim about his views.
Israel has quietly expanded a restricted zone inside Gaza, according to new maps sent to aid groups, placing thousands of displaced Palestinians inside an area where Israeli occupation forces could operate. Aid agencies say the shifting boundaries have created fear and confusion, with residents worried they could suddenly find themselves in a live military zone. And Britain's King Charles and Queen Camilla visited the September 11th memorial in New York to honor victims. They laid flowers at the reflecting pools, marking the Twin Towers' footprints. Their visit follows a busy day in Washington, where Charles addressed Congress and met with President Trump.
That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.